Yeah, this might be one of the craziest things I've never seen. But let me say this. I'm not for revenge. I'm also not for turning the other cheek in the context that a lot of us have been taught. I am for, especially as a woman, if your soft voice doesn't get through to that man, set the room on fire. Then walk away like a lady. Not literally, don't set nobody or nothing on fire, disclaimer. But stop trying to protect the man who failed to protect you. Why do y'all feel like you got to make sure that you keep his reputation intact, his sanity intact, when he did everything he could to destroy yours? I don't understand that. And I'm saying this as a man. Don't go out your way looking to destroy, looking to get vengeance. I'm not for that. But I'm also not for a lot of y'all who want to make sure you still try to protect this man at the sacrifice of you. And he's not doing anything to protect you. And this situation, y'all, I'm going to just give it how I see it. I'm not going to say names because that's a part of what I just don't do. But this sister hit me up. Basically, her man not only cheated on her, they're in the church and he's a high ranking person in the church. Let's just leave it there. But she found out he was on a DL. He's been sleeping with not just one, but multiple men in secret. She found out. She can't even think straight. She don't want to be in a relationship, but also she now has to leave the church that she's been in for, I think, over a decade. So this is her church home, her social circles. Their children have gone to this church, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Now, here's the crazy part. If that wasn't crazy enough. He's already in panic about his reputation, trying to convince everybody she was crazy. She was cheating. She was doing this, that, and the other. And now where she's at now is to just leave the church. She was going to stay at the church, but now she's getting ready to leave the church. Everybody looking at her crazy. They're contemporary. They have a very, mutual circle. This is a church community. I said, sister, if you already done told this man, this wasn't cool. Stop doing this. I hear what you're saying about me. Stop trying to pin it on me. You was cool with being quiet. He didn't want to hear that. That soft voice didn't work. Set that room on fire. Set that house on fire, then walk away like a lady. He ignored, let me come a little close. He ignored you. You tried to be diplomatic. You ain't mad about the breakup, at least in this regard. Of course, it hurts, it sucks. But if that man is trying to ruin you and take you down and stuff like that, I say take the gloves off. And I mean this for every woman, because a lot of y'all, the reason why you don't have closure is because the part of you, the version of you that got hurt, the part of you that was a victim to somebody else's decisions is still being victimized by you protecting them despite what they've done to you. I'm not saying go for revenge. Let me be very, very clear. I don't think it is wise for you to invest energy in going out your way to be vengeful or to see somebody's destruction. That's on their reputation. That's on their business, their job. I'm not saying that. I'm saying walk inside the version of you that's prioritizing you now for somebody who didn't. If that means that their reputation gets destroyed, because sometimes setting a room on fire is just to basically let happen what would have already happened if it wasn't for you protecting them this whole time. Just let it happen. I'm not saying go out here and do this and do that. I'm not saying do that. And sometimes it ain't got nothing to do with reputation. Sometimes you were the person that was throwing away their bottles of liquor and they got a liquor problem. You was the one that was taking their keys. You was the one that was helping them not go and spend money they ain't need to be spending. You was the one getting in the way of their own self-destruction. When I say set the room on fire, I'm talking about get out their way. Let them ruin themselves. Now, in her situation, it is a matter of reputation. Again, I told her, hey, look, that man wanted you to set yourself on fire to keep him warm in this situation. He wanted your reputation to burn to the ground, everybody to think that you're the bad person, you're the bad guy. And now you got to leave your church home. You got to let people think something negative about you. No. I'm not saying go and try to spread anything, but if somebody asks you the question, why it seems like this, he's saying that, you can tell the truth. That man wasn't living in his truth. He liked what he liked, and it ain't women. You ain't got to go all out your way. You ain't got to go try to set something up to sabotage yourself. I'm not saying that. But I am saying stop protecting that person that didn't protect you. It's making your healing process harder. It's further isolating the version of you that didn't get the protection you deserve from the beginning. Let me be very, very clear. You are isolating yourself even more. You are further abandoning that version of you that was abandoned in the relationship emotionally. But again, don't think I'm just talking about something that's destructive. Sometimes setting a room on fire is just simply leaving. Sometimes they'll threaten everything. I'm going to do this to myself. I'm going to do that to myself. Let them get out their way. Stop trying to protect. They didn't protect you. I'm all about reinvesting your energy. If you ever heard anything that I said, it's like, hey, after a situation ends, invest your energy into your glow up. You can't glow up while you're still trying to protect them. And that's taking something out of you. You holding up your life. No. You said your perspective on accepting an ex-husband back that was the one who dumped you. I don't think you should accept anything back as it was. Now, I don't know the particulars. So when you're talking about husbands and wives, I like to go deeper. Anything that I present to y'all, I've already looked at the layers of it. So when you're talking about a husband that dumped you, like, I don't know the context. Was it something that you did wrong? Is he the exact same person? Was it that whoever it was he thought he could upgrade to really ended up being a disappointment, or she was disappointed by him? There's a lot of layers to that. I don't want to give you nothing blanket. But I will say this, in any situation, for any woman listening to this, if a man has really done you dirty, taking you through the ringer, I'm talking about he's just dragged you up and down, et cetera, and you ain't got your money straight, you're going to be in for a lot more healing that you're going to need. People don't understand the financial weight that comes from a breakup, from having to refigure out your entire life. There's a lot. And if this wasn't something mutual and respectful and that man gonna take care of you, and honestly, most times, if a man was providing for you, he's not, you got to make sure you got your money straight. That's just as a quick little side note, because I see a lot of women staying in these relationships strictly because of the money. Not because there's still life in that relationship. Not because that man is repentant. Not because of anything like that. So you make sure, matter of fact, let me go and put this, because this is what I tell everybody. If you ain't got $15,000 to $20,000 in your bank, you need to have a 700 credit score. That's the same thing as a $15,000 to $20,000 bank account balance. Too much to get into right now, but if you don't have a 700 credit score, you can get one in the next 3 to 4 weeks with the right specialist. You can go out here and do it by yourself. It may take you a little bit longer. I just got a specialist to do mine. When I had like a 500 credit score, I got the right credit repair specialist. I just put his contact info down there at the bottom, who got me from a 500 to an 816 credit score. So if you don't have your money in the bank, you shouldn't be dating if you ain't at least got the money in the bank or a 700 credit score. And if you ain't got a 700 credit score, you can get one in a matter of a few weeks. My specialist, he does cost like $2,000 normally. He said anybody that comes through today, actually through the end of this week, by Sunday, you can get in for, I think, $250. And he'll restore everything on your credit, meaning any negative, any collection item, any repossession, anything, bankruptcy, don't matter. I'll put the link down here, but comment the word fixed if you need your credit fixed. I'm just plugging y'all in. I don't do gatekeeping over here. But back to what I was saying. If your soft voice didn't work, stop talking. Your gentle approach, it became his permission slip to treat you however he felt like treating you, because he felt like you ain't going nowhere and you can't go nowhere. Sometimes that soft energy that you got, if it ain't also got boundaries, is going to get mistaken for unlimited tolerance. Heather says, I'm okay with being the villain in someone else's story. I love that. But if you being the villain is going to change your whole life, hey, tell the truth about who was really the villain now. If that man learned that disrespecting you comes with no real consequences, you can count on it continuing to happen over and over and over again. Like you calmly explaining why his dismissive tone hurts you. And he just rolls his eyes. You gently ask him to prioritize date nights. He keeps on canceling, keeps on postponing, keeps on procrastinating. You softly express needing more communication. He gives you even less. At that point, your kindness is becoming his comfort zone for his poor behavior because you never showed him what happens when the kindness runs out. Again, this ain't about taking no vengeance or anything like that. This is just about you saying, I'm no longer going to prioritize protecting him. A lot of y'all get in relationships and you see the good, bad, and ugly of a man. And then your priority becomes taking care of him, protecting him, having his back. But who's got yours? Who's got yours? And I'm going to tell you something about a lot of guys. Some dudes only understand the language of loss. You got to know how to speak it fluently. I'm not talking about, please hear me when I say this. I'm not talking about when you and your man had a disagreement and because you're hurt or maybe you're triggered or maybe that abandonment wound is ripped open or something like that. You just go all out and try to ruin him. Please don't do that. I'm never going to tell you to do anything like that. Don't get over here saying I'm going to leave at the first moment that he makes me upset. No. But you got to make sure a man respects your absence, especially if he's not valuing your presence. Because your words without consequences, they're just noise to men who don't respect boundaries. Your departure teaches lessons that your explanations never could. But you cannot be the woman who ain't going nowhere. You told him 100 times that his wandering eyes made you uncomfortable, but he kept openly checking out other women, social media, in person. You explained how his late night texting with his ex or some girl that he done dealt with before sexually, it bothers you, it hurts you, but he kept the conversations going. And then the day you stopped arguing and you started packing, all of a sudden he understood exactly what you had been trying to say. There's a reason for that. There's a reason for that. Don't worry. I'm cool with them trolling. I don't care nothing about it. When somebody said money don't buy love, I guarantee you poverty don't either. Being financially dependent, working check to check, staying your nose barely above water, and he's a big part of the reason why you able to even be that, will keep you in a toxic, trauma bonded relationship, getting damaged a lot longer. But I agree, money don't buy love. I just don't know what poverty buys you. Keep it real with yourself. I ain't telling you go get rich and all that. I'm saying have the ability to be with the man that you want, not the man that you financially need. And I'm a provider. I believe in providing. I just believe that most guys these days are not safe to provide. I talked about this before. You have a lot of guys who provide now, but it's from a place of leverage and power. Very few men provide because that's truly their identity. And whether y'all work out or not, they're going to make sure you're straight. Very few men. They do exist. We exist, but very few men. So it is wise as a woman, if you are dating and you're not yet married or something like really deep, but you're just getting into it the first couple years or something like that, for you to have your own. Now, if that man is already proven, whether y'all go up, down, good, bad, and otherwise, he's going to make sure you're straight. That's different. But I need you in your people-pleasing, empathic ways to understand is going to continue to get you hurt when you're dealing with somebody who genuinely don't care about you, because you become a diplomat in a war zone. And the war is within you. But some situations, they don't require peace treaties. They require strategic strikes. Because diplomatic solutions only work when both parties want a resolution. But your general approach is being weaponized against your own interests when you're dealing with somebody who don't want a resolution. They just want power. Anum says, after I asked for a conversation about his consistent silent treatments as punishment for me requesting accountability, he left me on my birthday. Now he's mad because you filed a divorce as a result. Let him be mad. I think y'all need to, y'all see like a man being mad, upset. I'm not saying you, but a lot of women, y'all see that as something you need to fix or correct or support him through. No. Let him be upset. Don't let his emotional reaction be his leverage to pull you back into a situation that was bringing you down emotionally. You were the one trying to save the relationship through understanding and compromise. He was using your efforts against you. Every time you showed him grace, he pushed further. Every time you gave him another chance, he took another and another. Essentially, you were negotiating with somebody who had already declared war on your peace. Ain't no more of that. Your soft voice, your gentle approach don't work. You got to speak a different language. You got to speak a different language. Buffy says he can't take my power. I love that. And your power is going to come from your ability to lead if he's not willing to fight for that relationship with you. And by relationship, I don't mean by his continued access to you. I mean the health of the relationship. He's not willing to have any hard conversations with you. He's not willing to make any changes. He asking you to do things he can't point at his own behavior as an example of how he's already done it. And therefore he just needs you to match. He ain't got time to talk to you. He's disrespectful. He calls you out your name. Like, come on, what are we talking about? And you just keep on being soft and gentle. Hey, look, at some point you got to change the language you're speaking. And don't think that your nuclear option is cruel. You blowing up and everything else. I'm not saying, to go out your way and try to hurt nobody. Please don't do that. But sometimes your reaction is clarity wrapped in consequences. That's all that is. Pretty Little Poison said, that's a funny name, said, what's the topic? The topic is when somebody takes your kindness for weakness. Stop being kind, not to them. I'm not saying change who you are as a person, but give them the version of you that they deserve. They didn't respect the version of you that was gentle. Therefore, they didn't earn that. Now, some of y'all, you just could never, ever let somebody feel it in their chest how they played on you. But I'm going to say this. Don't get out of character. But that version of you you've been holding back to spare them, I'm just saying that's energy you could be putting into your own glow up. And maybe it's something that would hurt them. Maybe it's something that would just be you withdrawing yourself and not caring that they're crying on the other side and begging and pleading. But if it is something where you get dramatic, sometimes that's the wake-up call that gentle words could never deliver. If that's something that's boiling inside of you, sometimes that's where your closure really comes from. Not doing them wrong, but finally saying, okay, I'm judging strictly by what's best for me, not for them. Whatever happens to them is what happens. I'm judging by what's best for me. Setting firm boundaries with serious consequences. That's not mean. Y'all be so afraid to be mean. That's necessary. When you don't set boundaries, you're enabling the cruelty that they've already shown to the version of you that never deserved to be hurt the way they hurt you. Kimmery says, and he started putting his hands on me. It's time to go. Absolutely. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about disagreements. I'm not talking about he got offended, you got offended, y'all said some things you shouldn't have said. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about those of y'all who are with the man who played in your face, ran all over you, hurt you, didn't care, didn't have any shame, any kind of remorse about it, and you just keep on being nice. You blocked him everywhere, returned his belongings, told his family the truth about why you left, and made it clear there would be no more chances. That was not vindictive of you. That wasn't mean of you. That wasn't cruel of you. That was you finally speaking the language he understood. And even if he didn't, the message still got across very clearly. And that's what some people need. Some people need to feel the earthquake to understand they've been shaking your foundation. Donisha said, I'm one and done, cut the head off the snake, never gave another chance. Love that. I love that. But again, some of y'all, you're such an empath, you're such a gentle soul. You're such a great heart. Like you're that kind of soft and warm, and you just can't do people a certain way. And I get it. But at some point you start setting yourself on fire to keep him warm, and he's willing to watch you burn. But self-sacrifice to a person who doesn't appreciate it is actually self-destruction. That's not love. You can't diminish yourself as somebody who wouldn't brighten for you. Or at least you shouldn't. Y'all looking for more ways to be nice as if that's going to inspire something better out of that man. You done changed your communication style to match his preferences. You done dimmed your personality to avoid his criticism. You done gave up the friends he didn't like. You done abandoned your dreams he called unrealistic. You became smaller and smaller, trying to make him more comfortable. Look, all the while he becoming more and more entitled to you shrinking. Make it make sense. You are destroying yourself to preserve a man who is destroying you. And again, it's very difficult to uphold said boundaries, uphold these types of things if you're not in a position, whether physically, financially, etc. Physically, if you're trauma bonded to the sex y'all are having, you addicted to it, you dickmatized, whatever you want to call it. If you came in broken and now he's feeling a void and you can't leave emotionally because you're tied and you're tied to him, you're attached to him, you're dependent on him emotionally, financially. Again, I am from the school of a provider as a provider because of identity, not because she's good enough, not because you like her, not because y'all together. But once that woman decides she's going to put her livelihood in your hands, you don't just play with that because y'all ain't in a good place. I'm from that belief. But I also know a lot of men are not. Most men I've come across, most men I hear about in these situations y'all DM me about, the moment they put their finances into you, they feel like they own you and they feel like they're overcompensating for something they're not going to give you. Most times, not every time. And so while you may come across a man who is a genuine provider that's safe to provide, I want to say the odds are not in your favor. So it's much better to go in having your own financially. You're going to need $15,000 to $20,000 in the bank. Why? Because breakups, they can cause you to lose your job, cause you to lose focus at your job. All of the things that he might be paying for, etc. And you don't know what's going to, you got to move real quick. You got to get first and last month's rent. You got to get the utilities turned on. You got to get a new car. You got to get this in your name. You're going to need $15,000 to $20,000. And if you ain't got that, you can at least get you a 700 credit score. And with that, you can go to the bank and you can get you a $20,000 credit card easily. And they ain't going to blink twice. If you got a 700 plus credit score, you can get you a credit card at most major banks for at least $20,000. You probably can get more than that. That's being humble. And if your credit is jacked up because of life, I mean, I've been there before, get you somebody to repair your credit. Whether you want to go out here and try to learn how to do it, I don't care how you do it. There's a lot of people out here who play around. I came across people who are ineffective myself. But my credit repair specialist got me from a 500 to an 816 in 4 weeks. It don't take 6 months. It don't take a year. You don't have to walk. This is a new day. You don't have to walk around with a 300 and something, 400 and something credit score. Again, I don't gatekeep either. If you want mine, if you want my credit repair specialist, not somebody I know that does good work, but the man who repaired my credit repair, did my credit repair, I put the link down there in the comments, but comment the word fixed. He normally does charge $2,000, which most legitimate credit repair specialists, because it is work, are going to charge you good money. But for those who come through my link, if I'm referring you, he's going to do your total credit repair, give you a fresh start through the end of this weekend for just $250, which is next to nothing. Crazy. And yes, he's good. But comment the word fixed. I will send you a link so you can get access to that credit repair, total credit repair, everything negative off your credit report. And yes, legally. I'm not going to get up here promoting something that's illegal. That's crazy. But legally, the man who did my credit repair. Anyway, back to what I was saying. When I say, if your soft voice doesn't work, walk away like a lady after burning the house down. When I say walking away like a lady, that means leaving with your dignity intact. Your lesson learned. Ain't no more saving him at the expense of you. It's not about you burning bridges. It's about you burning the parts of yourself that accepted less than you deserve and feeling like you're still responsible for his well-being and his protection and his reputation and his business continuing on and nobody thinking bad of him and him not committing suicide because that's what he threatened he would do. It's like, I'm not going to keep protecting you when you didn't protect me. You ain't got to scream. You ain't got to throw things. You ain't got to create no drama. You simply remove yourself from the situation with class. That's what you do. You remove yourself from the situation with class, knowing that you gave your best effort and he chose to waste it. Your departure is elegant but absolute. No explanations, no second chances, no looking back, no nothing, no spinning the block. You leave like the queen you always were, but somehow forgot you deserve to be treated like. That's what you do. Somebody said, how do you contact the credit repair specialist? info@mytechacademy.com. info@mytechacademy.com. That's his email. But yeah, I don't care how you do it. It's credit repair, whether you go start another business, whatever you can do to get you some money or some type of financial ability to move around should you have to, that's what you do. However you do it. I'm just not a gatekeeper. I'm going to give you access to my people I can personally vouch for because he did my credit repair. Even when you click that link, those of you who comment fix, I'm going to send you a link. When you click that link, I literally have a video on there of me showing you my credit score results from what he did. Like I'm his client. But again, most times he's charging $2,000 and I think the price is going up again midnight on Sunday. It's probably going to go up whenever he runs out of slots. So I encourage everybody, if you got something negative, your credit report, your credit score starts with a 4, a 5, or a 6. You need to get some type of credit repair ASAP. Rachel says, I saw a guy today. He said whatever a man is missing in his life, he steals from women. That's interesting. I would say if that man is broken, if that man has a bad moral compass, if he has no regard for others, yes, he's going to steal it. But we're supposed to compliment each other. The problem is when a man ain't complimenting you. When he sees things in you he can't compliment, so he tries to destroy you instead. That's the problem that I'm seeing. But you can't let your approach being gentle and loving and kind and Christian become a permission slip for him to treat you however he feels. Some people, they only understand the language of loss. I got to say that again. Some dudes only understand the language of loss. Your grace period has expired. Now it's time for consequence season. Ain't no more continuing to give chances. You done talked all you could talk. You tried to be done. You tried to walk away. You tried to leave him alone. You tried to block him and he's still coming for you. Some people only learn when they lose. So teach them what your absence cost. But those are just my thoughts. If you agree or if you found truth in anything that I said, find a little arrow down here and hit the share button. This is free, but I just ask that you pay it forward. Bless somebody else on your timeline who may need to hear this message right here, right now. I'm your internet big bro. You know I got your back. Oh, and for those of y'all who got anything negative on your credit report, you don't have to stay like that. Get you a fresh start credit wise so you can get you a $15,000 to $20,000 credit card for emergencies or anything that might come up. It can happen in 30 days or less with the right credit repair specialist. If you want mine, the one who did my credit repair, it ain't going to cost you thousands of dollars, $250 total credit restoration. Anything negative comes off. Click the link that you see pinned down here in the comments or comment the word fixed and I'll send you a link to get access to that discount. Legitimate credit repair, by the way. I'll let y'all be good. Peace.